Hey y'all, so I have an updated foundation tutorial for you guys. I like to mix it up, I'm sure we all have a million foundations we like to try, and I found something that I really like, and all of the products I'm going to list down below because they are part of the Alcone at Home program that I've been talking about so much, and they include top quality pro products that you've probably already heard about and I've mentioned before. Some of these are definitely holy grail items that you've seen in multiple favorites video, and I know for a fact that a lot of these made my 2012 favorites. So this is me doing the foundation because in my last tutorial, the bridal look, the camera got cut off. So I wanted to make sure I didn't do this foundation tutorial because it looks so nice on camera, and I was really impressed. So I wanted to make sure to do a full out one for you guys. I already have eyebrows and eyes done just because I didn't want to be completely naked and then the skin will be done, and we're just going to go through the entire thing together. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'll link all of these below. First, we're going to start off with moisturizer. I'm going to use Dermacolor Creme Concentré, and this is like my favorite kit moisturizer. Works on all skin types. I know you guys have seen everybody talk about it because it's that good. So I'm going to moisturize. I'm just going to use my clean fingers. Alright. So then I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of primer. I'm going to use Nurturing Force Blot Out Offensive, which featured many times. Okay, now let's go ahead and do concealer. I happen to do corrector concealer, or actually I do corrector, foundation, then concealer. But you can do them whatever order you want. I like corrector down first for sure because it knocks out my under eye circles, and I use my favorite Ben 9 Neutralizer Cream Crayon in medium/tattoo cover. It's a perfect orangey color to knock out my under eye circles. So I love that it's in a stick form because I can just draw it on. And it's a tiny bit drier, which means that it stays longer. So I just put it right where my darkest spots are, right here. And then I use my ring finger, which is the gentlest finger. And I just like kind of tap it in. I find that if I don't use a corrector and I just use regular concealer, I can definitely tell because I still see a little bit of shadowing underneath. And I'm just tapping my finger very lightly because I don't want to take away coverage, but I just want to blend out the edges. Okay, so let's move on to the foundation. I have my trusty Alcone at Home palette, and I put in my specific foundation and concealer shades. So these are RCMA foundations in pan form. These are like a cult favorite. I've recently discovered them myself because I used to use them way long ago when I first started doing makeup, and I didn't really like them back then, but I don't know if they've changed or I don't know what was going on, but I love them now. They're awesome, really great for your kit. So I'm going to use two shades. This is my all over face color, and that's my contour color. Then this is Dermacolor, sorry, my finger's cut, I got a paper cut. This is Dermacolor Concealer, and these are all part of the Alcone at Home program because they took their best-selling products and put them in pan form, which is genius because you can just stick them in a magnetic palette. So this is shade Shinto number 2. I'm sure you guys have all seen Goss, makeup artist, talk about how he loves these foundations, and I can totally see why. Even James Vincent from The Makeup Show, he recently wrote an article on Beautylish about how great they are. So I'm just going to take a little bit with my spatula. And what I'm going to do, this might not seem like normal, but I like to apply the foundation first and then blend it in because I feel like I don't lose as much product that way. I don't use up as much. See how creamy it is? And you don't need a lot because it's a pro product, which I love. That's why I'm so into pro makeup, because it's so high quality. It's cheaper than department store makeup. And it's just like you're bound to find the right color because it's meant to be like professional. Okay, so now that I have it in, I'm going to take my Vortex flat top buffer brush. And I'm just going to dampen it a little bit with some Scandinavian makeup setting spray. Just so that way it glides on a little easier. And then I'm just going to buff it in. So what I really love about this foundation is that it has a very realistic skin-like finish to it. It just looks like you have really good skin, yet you still get coverage. So that's like the best of both worlds. And when you layer it, you can apply some more to like some problem areas. When you layer it, you can get more coverage and it still looks natural. So I'm going to put a little more on my cheeks, around my nose, on my temples. This is where I usually need a little more coverage. Just tap it in. This shade number 2 is a tiny bit light for me just because I went to Miami and Orlando recently. So I got a little bit of tan. So that's why I like to take a contour color, because the contour then also kind of bronzes me up for my summer shade. This is MB5, also from the RCMA. So it's obviously darker. This is actually the exact match for my best friend Alex, who you've seen in a million videos. So she's about an NC 50 for comparison purposes. Right now I'm an NC 42, 43. So I'm going to take a little bit of that contour. This is way too much now that I put it down, but at least you guys can see. And then we're going to contour with this. So I'm just going to take this brush right here, which is from not Vortex, this is from Sedona Lace Midnight collection. And we're going to contour. Okay, so I'm placing this where I want to slim anything. It's really nice. This brush is really nice for getting the nose. So I'm just also going to get my forehead, because my forehead is always dark at the top. It's because it's where the sun hits. So I'm just going to do that. And then wherever else that I would regularly contour. Okay, so now as you can see, I'm definitely bronzed up and contoured. It might seem a little heavy right now, but when I kind of highlight and I put the face powder on, everything will blend seamlessly together. So like I said, I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to take a concealer for that, because this is going to be my concealer / under eye highlight. This is the Alcone at Home Waterproof Concealer, also from Dermacolor, which is like a pro brand that's amazing. This is shade number 2, or D4, but I think it's shade number 2. In the Alcone at Home system. Love it. It's such a nice concealer. It's really, really pigmented, high coverage. If you like high coverage concealers, like cream ones, this is really great. And it's not too creamy where it like creases really bad. It's just the right consistency. So I'm just going to dot this underneath my eyes and wherever I want to highlight. Okay, so it's applied, and now I'm going to take my beauty blender. I really like using a sponge to do the under eye area because it keeps it nice and flawless looking and not cakey. So I'm just going to tap it in. This is a damp beauty blender. And this is especially good with this concealer because since the concealer is full coverage, you need to thin it out just a little bit so it looks nice and natural. So I'm just going to dot this all over wherever I want to blend it in. Okay, so wherever I don't want the lighter concealer to hit, but I still want to blend, I'm just going to pick a different spot of the sponge that doesn't have the concealer on it, and just use that to help blend everywhere else. Okay, see how everything has seamlessly blended in together? Okay, so if you want, you can apply more or less, it's just up to your preference, but I'm just going to go ahead and finish off with powder. So of course, banana powder. Look how much I've used. See, you can tell I like this product, right? But it's lasted me a couple years. So this is great for setting underneath the eyes to get that bright look. Depending on your skin tone, sometimes it can look a little ashy, so you gotta watch out for that. But what I'm gonna do is use it to set my entire face. I like doing that. I've been doing that for years once I first found out about the powder. I just find that it gives a really nice brightening effect to the whole entire face, especially if you have a yellow undertone like myself. So I'm just going to take my fan brush from the Vortex collection, and I'm just going to get it all over to set everything. Okay, so then I'm going to take some more, and I'm going to concentrate this now to give that brightening under eye highlight with my damp beauty blender. And this, if you ever have a problem with this stuff like looking cakey underneath your eyes, apply it with a damp beauty blender and you should not have a problem. It'll look nice and moisturized under here. And if you want to take the powdery look, just again use the damp beauty blender where it's clean and just kind of dot around. And that'll bring your skin, like the real life skin look, back into it. Okay, so at this point, I am going to put a little bit more contour on. I always do this if I do a creamy or liquidy contour color. I like to set it with powder just so that way you get a little bit more drama back, a little more definition, and also it'll last longer. So just use whatever contour color you have. I'm using a Graftobian Pro Powder that's a little bit darker. So I'm going to use my Dome Contour brush from Sedonles. Okay, so it's all blended in and you get a little bit more definition now. Now I'm going to put blush. Gotta have blush. I feel like when you have highlight and contour, you need to fill in that gap. So it's like highlight, contour, you gotta fill in this gap with blush. So I'm going to use my Alcone at Home blush palette. I dropped this blush, I'm so sad, but it still got a good amount left, thank goodness. So I'm going to apply just whatever color I feel like, because this look is pretty neutral. Let's go for this pretty bright pink right here. And I like to go really lightly because it's better to build than, you know, have a splotchy, too much blush at first, and this is super pigmented. So tap off the excess. And I like to go up at an angle because it really kind of adds to the defined contoured look. And that was blush number 5. Really pretty bright pink. This will look good on everybody, all skin tones. And then I'm going to put a highlight. This is a really pretty pinky champagne, and it's shade number 6. It's a blush, but really it's a highlight. So I'm just going to put it right on top of my cheekbones for a little glow. The reason why I like this is because it's not like extra shimmery metallic-y. It's really fine, so it's kind of sophisticated. So all skin ages, skin types and ages can wear this because it's not too much. They're all over, really. Okay, so the foundation's pretty much done. I'm going to go ahead and use a setting spray. I always do this. It takes away the powdery look, gives your skin a nice dewy, glowy kind of finish. This is a Scandinavia No More Shine Makeup Finish, and I seriously, this is my favorite one of all of the makeup setting sprays. I like it because it's in between Fix Plus and like a model in the bottle, because it gives you moisture and also sets at the same time. So I'm going to spray a couple of times. Refreshing. And then I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of gloss. Blinged out gloss from Alcone at Home. It's in the shade Grace. So I'm just going to put pink just to keep it easy. Go with the cheeks. And I like this applicator because it's a flat. So it kind of goes on like a lip brush, but it's also a doe foot at the same time. And it has a kind of tastes like cinnamony, sugary kind of feel to the gloss. Just a nice bit of shine. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I just think this the foundation just makes my skin look really good. I don't know why I've been missing out all these years. It's really nice, especially because you can get the individual full-size shades in pan form, so you can throw them in your palettes. So this is my updated foundation routine, all pro products. So that's why it's exceptional quality. Everything is a pro brand, and here are the shades again, the blushes, and here are the concealer slash foundation, all in pan form, so you can throw this all on a palette, magnetic palette, and you'll be good to go. So definitely give these brands a shot. These are already cult favorites, pro makeup artist brands that people have been using in their kit for years. So I encourage you to try it now that it's part of this Alcone at Home program where they've put everything into pan form. So that way it's more convenient for you to use. Like all women, makeup artists, everyday women, men, all of you guys can use it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will have all of the products listed on my blog and pictures at makeupbyrenren.com. And I will also link the products below. They're all available on my Alcone at Home website. So I hope you guys enjoy, and until next time, have a great night. Ciao, Bellas!